Hi everybody, my name is Bert, like Nancy said. Two fun facts, well actually the third one too. I love K-dramas, and I'm currently watching Study Group. Fun, comic-y, and a lot of fun. I'm an action guy. And then I love dancing, that's part of what dancing is. And the third is I also full circle. Thought that I was not the best graphic design student. I got my new job, and now here I am going to teach first year graphic designers about the academic work. So this is another fun fact. It's a full circle moment for me where I never thought I would be up there teaching students. So here so for today's conversation, like Nancy said, we're going to talk about branding, and I want you to do a couple of things today. I want you to think about a business that you have, or that you are going to have, or just think of a business idea that you can have fun. Because I want to make sure you are also doing this exercise, whether you guys have employees, just think of a business you want to do, or you are going to do, or you already have. So this exercise can best help you. And I want you to ask me questions. I worked in advertising for 6 years, and I left that to pursue my own design business. So I want you to ask me any questions regarding branding, marketing, advertising. I do my best to answer. But this also workshop, we're going to be a little bit workshopping, meaning I will give you guys time to write certain things, ask you to share to the group, and I will live coach the best I can to leave this room with a good brand team, okay? And also, because we only have an hour, we're not going to be building a full brand, but I'm going to give you like a foot in the door of what branding is like, because I love branding a lot. That's what I did for 6 years, so that at least you guys leave this room with a better understanding of your brand and what more is there to brand to, okay? All right. Okay, so let me answer this question. If your logo disappeared today, or if a business logo disappeared today, how would people still recognize your or their brand? Feel free to shout out.
How? The products you provide?
Products? Yeah, that's a good one. Anything else?
Make them feel.
Yep, how you make them feel. Experience. Anything else?
Slogan.
Slogan, yeah.
Well, there's no recognize your name, right? Your face.
Your name, your face, yeah. That's good. Actually, this last one. It's your visuals as well, your colors, and how they represent your brand too. So, and when it comes to branding, there's a lot of different tools. There's like visuals, there's logos, there's name, and then there's like marketing. But marketing and branding are friends. They're not the same thing. Marketing is a tool, whereas branding is the accessory, the clothing that you wear to look good. And then the thing that I love talking about branding is storytelling, where that's your brand voice. How do you sound? What do you tell people, right? So I'm actually a hardcore traditional graphic designer, meaning I love designing logos. I did a lot of packaging during my 6 years. I did a lot of photo shoots. I love doing logo designs. But in today, my work, I will be that designer to tell you my hot takes so you guys can learn. Because I work with so many smaller businesses and organizations, and I will give you some tips, some hot takes, where you guys are not making the wrong moves, or so you guys can understand branding a little bit more. Okay? So, branding test, I want you guys to tell me what kind of slogans do these belong to, okay? This one. Nike, okay. Easy start, easy start. This one.
Belong everywhere.
It has something to do with what you do. Oh, what's your name?
Me?
Yeah. Oh, that's a pen.
Oh, it's not. It's not a fitness.
No, not fitness. It's real estate. Yeah.
Real estate company.
Yeah. Another one is where. Yes, Airbnb.
Oh,
yeah. Isn't that a nice slogan now that you guys see Airbnb?
Yeah.
Someone go there. Disneyland. Disney World, Disneyland. I think they have maybe slightly different slogan, but
This way.
it might be so. Okay, so again, my name is Bert Lee. I run a branding business called Beyond Logos and a speaking business, Bert Lee Speaks. This is me as located at a Bagel Silver Tooth. I would have never imagined me being here speaking to rooms of entrepreneurs and business owners about branding, and also speaking to hundreds of students about motivation, career change, and also about design and advertising too. Okay, so I worked at Periscope and VML, two big agencies in Minneapolis. These are some of the clients that I worked with that was mentioned, like Nature Valley, General Mills, Latinos, Target, and Trolley. So these are just some of them that I got to dabble in to build them campaigns, to build in their brands, really work on their brand messaging as well. Okay, and this is what I've learned, and here's where I got some hot takes that in advertising, we focus on brand messaging first. Okay, when I went into advertising, I thought I was going to be designing some cool stuff. My art director was like, we do that last. We got to make sure we attract our customer through words, okay? Because we read basically like 80% of our life. We all just read. If you guys think about the way you guys consume things, is we put messaging first. Some live examples. Vanguard, your cash deserves a good home. Because we want to connect to our customers emotionally. What I've learned is that we are all human beings at the end of the day. We just need to attract them emotionally. And then when we attract them emotionally, then we can dive deep to figure out who is our target audience. For smaller business owners, they get stuck in a mindset where you need to find a niche first. Here's my hot take. That's impossible. But my agencies, we have billion-dollar budgets. We have researchers, data analysts to research our target audience. I'm a one-man team. I can't do that. You will be stuck finding your target audience in too many trial and errors. But instead, you create an evergreen, which is a big emotional message. You promote it out, get a bunch of people clicking and liking it, and then you go in who clicks the most, and then that's when we call it you A/B test. You test this message for these. Then you need these people, that's how you do it smartly. If you jump straight into finding your niche, go ahead and do that, but you will be using a lot of time and possibly money. Okay? Another one that I like from Coke, Open the Coke, Open Happiness. Another one from a shampoo brand. Nope, it's just inked up, feeling dirty, take a shower. Very funny, goofy. It shows brand personality, and then another clean product, dish cleaning best power couple, and then the Snap It, another episode, Snack It Too. You see how it's all about brand messaging, but you can't get this until you do your research. As a designer, it's really easy. And I'll tell you, it's really easy to make something blue, to make something circle, to make something look pretty. It's really easy. But it's really hard to pick your brain and tell me, why are you doing this? Why are you showing up? That takes more brain power. But for you, you can just say, oh, make this blue, pink, yellow. That's really easy to do. Okay? So that's why to get here, we have to do our homework. We have to do our brand messaging first. What's our story? Okay? And here's another hot take I have. Is that customers don't care about your logo. I softened it a little bit because I did have some people feel like the way I say people don't care about logos, right? That is really true, right? Okay, it's not like we go to McDonald's and say, oh my God, the letter M is so beautiful, it's curvy, it's yellow, I love it. No, we go to McDonald's because I buy my nieces and nephews chicken nuggets and fries. It's the convenience, it's the experience, okay? Yes, people do care about your logo. Well, guess what? For a week, it's that shiny object. Your family and friends are gonna love your logo. They're gonna say it's so cool. But after that, they're gonna forget about it. Okay, so that's why I say customers don't care about your logo as much as you think. And a lot of people, including myself, when I did this first time, we jump ship to the logo first, right? They always focus on the logo first. So the lesson here is, don't jump too fast. You don't need a logo, because I've helped businesses and entrepreneurs build brands with no logo. Just their name or just their business name, but they have a strong story. And that's it. And then later on, they find their logo. Okay? The logo is kind of like an essay title. If you have that first, it kind of makes it hard to write the paper. But sometimes when you write your paper first, it might get you to write your title. Right? I've done that a lot in college. Okay? They care instead about your brand messaging, just kind of like what we saw earlier. Okay? So they don't care about your logo, they care about your brand message, how you sound, how you make them feel, how you read things. Just look at all the brands that you invest in, right? Why do you keep going back? They have great campaigns, they have great wording. And here's another one I want to show you quickly, is that marketing without messaging equals wasted money. I'm also talking to a lot of entrepreneurs, especially real estate agents who have worked with me through my cohort and individually, is they jump straight to sales. They want those numbers, right? They want to create ads. They want to create content to generate money. But when I ask them, what's your story? How do you get there? They don't have that. See? Because what they do is they skip the brand message. They have a logo, they have a visual, and they go straight into the target audience, and then go to email marketing tools like MailChimp, Pipedrive, all those salesy stuff. They're really good, but they're not as good. They may give you some money, but the entrepreneurs business that I talk to, they always come back and say, well, no one's engaging, no one listens. I may get some people that buy it, but they're not as good with the people that I like. It's because they don't have a message. They still straight to marketing tools. Of course, you're going to get people who just want fast things, right? But if we build the message first, you're going to connect to your audience, and then you leverage your marketing tools because you have the right message, and from there, it's going to get you money, right? Because what happens organically now is that people are going to start organically believing in your brand. They don't need to be in your email newsletter. They don't need your ads. They just know who you are now, right? We do the same thing. So don't focus so much on the material, but focus on this. Because I promise when you do this, the hard work, it's going to make everything else easier. Okay? I have an example here. So these are two of my previous cohort members, Pete and Tom. They're both motivational speakers. So this is what it looks like when there's no brand messaging. It's just their logo, pretty visuals, Facebook cover, awesome, looks great. But how do we make it stronger and how do we make it more emotional and powerful is we add brand messaging. PK Wong, helping young leaders conquer self-mastery. Tom, making greatness a courage in reality. Helping following students encourage autonomous talks. That's brand messaging with visuals. Okay, compared to this, is way more powerful. Okay? So with that kind of introduction, I want to get into brand building now. So what I'm going to teach you is this strategy, but this is not what I'm going to teach you guys. I just want to show you that this is a proven method that big agencies we use. So this won't do us any favor. It's speaking big money, big language, but how do I shorten this down and simplify it to work with entrepreneurs and business owners? Before any creative brief, before any winning campaigns, I sit in a room with my copywriter, creative director, art director, and we go through this, we call it a creative kickoff, a strategy brief. I, as a designer, all I need to know is their insight, their strategy, and then why we're doing this. Okay, so for the insight is, when you're always on, you need a mood booster that matches and sustains every level of intensity. Okay, and I think this brand was for a Mara bar, which is like a snack bar, but you go like a Mara bar. And the reason why we're building this campaign is we want to drive sales of multiple GMI treat bars per basket, meaning Mara bar. And this is our strategy, this is our message that we're going to be using, which is power up your indulgence with familiar flavors that boost your vibe anytime in the day. Get the boost you need on every trip with more energy from the taste you already love. So now as a designer and me, my copywriter, we're going to take this messaging, we're going to put it into a bunch of banner ads, post that on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere you see a website, and we're going to use our creative media kits to create this as inspiration. So we always talk about this one pager that drives this whole campaign. It's just one page. Drives award-winning campaigns that last for years or months. But how? Before I get to the house, so these are just some campaigns that I get to work on. Super fun to do. Blue Buffalo, Vodka, Chex Mix, Pizza Hut with 7-Eleven. Funny because me and my director, we sat in one room. We're like, how do we make this fun? And I'm like, I like drinking. We like eating late night snacks. And then, bam, this I didn't get to life and pitched it. They loved it, but of course budget-wise, so it didn't get creative. But my CEO and my creator, they loved it. So some ideas never die. So as I'm talking, if you have any questions, just raise your hand too, okay? So again, how do I make this simple for entrepreneurs, business owners? Because this works well in advertising. But the way I saw this, I want to simplify so that, because I was always creating logos for entrepreneurs, but it just sits on the desk, right? Because they don't know what else to do with it, right? So I'm like, you know, let me just coach you on how to maximize your role. So I call this next step the Beyond Logos framework, and it's as simple as just telling your story, but I've broken it into 6 steps and how does this show up. Okay, 1, your purpose, your target audience, the problem, your service, your brand personality, and your insight. Okay, but the way I coach and teach is that each and one of these, I want you to have emotion in them. Yes, they may, of course, targeted audience may sound straightforward, but the difference is how do you word and find your target audience. Some people say you create 3 personas, and those are your people. I agree, but that's still a lot of people. So instead of communicating to 3 people, you find a nice hierarchy that talks about all 3 of them together. Because who knows, you might not even use all 3, you might just use 1, and that's your person. Okay? But because these are all 6, we're not going to do all 6, we're going to focus on 2. But I want to show you how I helped one of my previous members build her brand and how she feels so confident. And before coming to me, she just felt like she sounded very formal and corporate. But I wanted her to feel personal and like herself. So she runs a CEO, SEO, and email marketing company, and she's doing amazing. So this is her purpose: transforming businesses into industry leaders. And her audience, busy business owners who has been in business for over a year. They have been juggling multiple roles. They don't have the time to learn new skills. They're looking to grow and scale their business and improve their online visibility to reach their ideal customers. Okay? She actually had 3 custom profiles, but I'm like, that's too many. That's good to have, but keep that in your back pocket. That's for you and your internal team. But to communicate when it's advertising and branding, let's make it sound like this. You can say something as, are you looking to have more online visibility? Click here to download a freebie, and that's it. And you just check who downloads it, and those are your people as well. Her problem is that she knows that they want to grow and scale their business, but it feels out of reach because they don't have time to focus on leads, revenue, and new clientele. Taking away their family, their time to enjoy what they love. Okay? And here comes your service. The way I teach it is this: your service is not your offer. You should be talking about what you do. For her, she's making online visibility their priority so they can scale their business and get back to enjoying what they love. And her brand personality is that they're passionate and transforming businesses into industry leaders. And this is her offer, which I call it the insight. It's like, what makes you different? Her offer is this: conquer online visibility and transform business into industry leaders for a 3 simple phase solution. That's her offer. And when I'm like, okay, what does that look like? Then she goes, oh, that's website designing, SEO, email marketing, okay? Those are the tools. You don't need to specifically say that on your brand write-ups. You create conversation and you create curiosity. What I learned in advertising and branding is that you don't need to say everything. You just hook them, create conversation, curiosity, and then you talk to them, okay? So again, like I said, let's just focus on our purpose and our service. So I want you to think about a business that you have, or make up one, and you can do this exercise, and I want to help coach you through this process too, okay? So I'm going to have an example here to kind of show you guys how to write a service, and I'll give you guys 2 to 3 minutes to write your own, and then come back and share the big group, okay? So the example here, we'll start off with service, okay? So the way I describe the service is it's what you do, and how does it help someone live better, feel clearer, and grow faster. And I want you to get emotional. Make it sound like something they do and make it sound like something they want, not just something you do. Okay, I'll give you an example here that's almost there. I'm a photographer and I capture family portraits to live in the moment. I think this is good, but it can be stronger with more emotion. This is what it looks like with that update. Mojo photography captures relaxed, story-driven photo sessions that make families feel comfortable, seen, and celebrated. As someone who reads this, I'm like, I want to feel seen and celebrated. How do you want your people to feel when they work with you in that single statement, okay? Because here it's, what do? You help take relaxed, story-driven photo sessions. How do you make them feel? Is that you want them to feel comfortable, seen, and celebrated. That's what it means when you have that emotional attachment to it, and what you want them to benefit after your session, okay? Remember, it's not your offer, it's what you do to make them feel, okay? So here is the exercise. I'm gonna leave this up here. My example is down here. So I just want you to say your business name. If you're stuck, use this, but otherwise feel free to write on your own. But otherwise, again, if you want like a helping hand, you can use this and just replace the red words with yours. Otherwise, my example is here. I'm gonna put 3 minutes on, and I'll let everyone workshop, and let's bring back. Okay? Right. Okay. Anybody wanna go first? Yeah.
All right. So my business Kaleo for like custom shirts branding. I said Kaleo helps businesses and organizations to be seen by what they physically wear and also through branded merchandise. This helps them to continue to capture their audience even when they are physically present.
Okay. So when your customers work with you, and so you're basically doing apparels, I'm assuming?
Apparel, yeah, and then like other like custom. So like tumblers. One of my customers, I did tumblers with their QR code.
Okay.
So
Okay. So then when your clients work with you and they get their, let's say, apparels and items from you, how do you want them to feel, and how do you want people to react to their shirts?
I want them to feel proud because I mean that's their brand, that's their
Okay.
mental.
Okay. And then so do you think it's also kind of like them advertising their business to people? Okay. So what you have is good. I'm just shorten it up a little bit.
Sure.
I heard the word proud. So what if it's something as, we create apparels, what would you call items? Decorative items? Is there a word for that?
Branded merchandise.
Okay, we create apparels and merchandise so businesses can feel proud in wearing their apparels, or we create apparels and merchandises so businesses can proudly present their brands in front of customers, right? So you're listing the outcome of why they work with you, meaning we're creating apparels and items so businesses feel proud to showcase their business. So with that, as a business owner, when I read that, I'm like, I do want to feel proud when I wear this shirt, or when I create this mug, I want to be proudly showing it to everyone else too. So think of the adjectives or the words that you want them to feel. Try doing that, and then later on, I want you to let's come back to that too.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Let's go middle roll.
I'll go.
I'll give you.
Okay, so this is a makeup business
Okay.
called Lee's Volleyball Camp.
Yeah, I like that.
So what it does high-level small group coaching for beginner to intermediate volleyball players that helps youth learn about the game beyond school so they can develop into the next level and increase their volleyball IQ.
Okay. Love that. Okay, so you say youth, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it just all strictly volleyball, or is there like an outcome that you want them to join as well when they join the camp?
Just volleyball.
Just volleyball?
Yeah.
Are you, is it helping them with anything else, or just volleyball?
Yeah, just increasing their volleyball skills.
Okay, using volleyball skills. Okay. How do you want them to feel?
Coming out feeling confident, like they've grown and they can play at the next level, right?
Okay.
So from like beginner to now, you can be competitive.
Okay, why would I want to join your, give me a description of like, why would someone want to join your camp?
So kids who aspire to be better, right? To be better in the game of volleyball.
Okay.
So if you're motivated and you want to get better, but you're not sure, where you can find the resources, this will be a place where you come where you get that high level training, small groups, more, a lot of that one-on-one, so that way you can really develop and get the help where you kind of need.
Okay, got it. So I heard high level training, and I heard inspire. I want to add, what you have is good, but it's still missing that, because a hot take too is that it sounds generic, anyone can say that.
Yeah.
I want you to sound different, and I want you to, when you build a brand, you need to own what you're saying. If you're not going to do it, no one's going to care, no one's going to do it. When you step into brand building, you have to own it and be proud, okay? So I'm going to add the word champ in there. So what if it's simple as, right, my volleyball camp is we are inspiring and training youth to become champs through my camp, right? So when I read that as a mom or as a youth, I'm like, we are inspiring and training youth to become volleyball champs. Then that's like, oh yeah, I want to be part of that. I don't want to go to this camp where they just train me stuff like, but they're not going to be a champ. This guy's going to be a champ. Words matter a lot. It's the simplest one too. So the word champ here is good. So try to play that a little bit more, like add some words that describes the outcome and that maybe the youth might want. Whether it's champs, whether it's making youth feel like they are winning medals through training, something like that. Okay, let's do one more.
I'll go. So it's called Jot Your Joy, and it's a YouTube channel I'll be starting to educate Bible stories. So my thing up there, the starting point, right? I just wrote, Jot Your Joy brings Bible stories to life, helping young adults grow in faith and lead others to Christ.
How do you feel with that?
I like it so far, and I think it works for now. But
Did you have one previously to this?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you the same question. You guys think about too. What do you want them to feel after they watch your video? Besides joining and learning about Christ, what else do you want?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, dive more into it, learn more about it, and I think part of it was I want them to also tell others about it. So it's kind of like a snowball effect.
Okay. Nice, love that. Okay, Kevin, that's a really good start. I'm gonna share another hacky insight. Is that when it comes to advertising and branding, we focus on the easy stuff that's already there, not the flashy stuff, right? It's as simple as so they can become a better husband, so they can be more focused on their chores, right? Yes, we have an objective, but we are all human beings, right? We need something, we want to become something, so that they can become better educators, so they become more involved in community, something like that. Because when we hear words like that, your goal isn't to talk to everybody. It's the people that relates to becoming a better husband will come to you, and that's when you start to recognize your people. So in advertising and branding, we don't focus on the big flashy words. We focus on maybe to make the dishwasher easy. How do we do that? We just simply say this soap is magical. Simple as that, right? So when you think about your service, you can get flashy, but make it simple because we're all simple-minded as well.
So basically, keep it concise, right?
Keep it concise. You can almost kind of like basic, but not too basic, because we're talking branding is all we're talking to a lot of people, right? And we gotta make sure the people that we talk to understand our language as well, right? Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, I said, Yuji Chen, a local associate with Remax Result, help family, individual, and company reach their business, leasing, and real estate goals so they can build wealth, enjoy their lifestyle, put their kids through college, and live in their dream home.
Like that. And is this real estate?
Well, because I do business, leasing, real estate.
Okay. Okay.
You want me to read again?
No, you're good. You are great examples. I want to share something. You do a lot of things. Branding is very powerful. I don't care what you do. At the end of the day, it comes to you for something. I'm a speaker, I do branding, and I coach. At the end of the day, people come to me for a logo, right? People come to you at the end of the day for a shirt item. It doesn't matter what you do, okay? People come at the end of the day to learn how to watch videos, to be educated. So for you, what is it that you do to all of those people?
I help them build wealth.
Build wealth, okay.
Yeah, change your lifestyle.
Okay. So what if and you said something about educating kids?
Yeah, because if you have money, so if I sell a business, right?
Yeah.
If I represent you as a buyer, I'm helping you build wealth.
Okay.
Right? So when you have money, you can put your kids to college, you can buy a house, right?
Okay.
But I also sell real estate, residential and commercial, that's also builds wealth or home ownership. And leasing is also tied to business.
Yes. So the word I hear is
So I
build
think
wealth.
it's like build wealth, enjoy the lifestyle, because I could be selling your business and you want to retire, so you have the lifestyle you want to relax,
Okay.
right?
Okay. So I heard build wealth,
Build
kids,
wealth,
family, and
enjoy
lifestyle.
enjoy the lifestyle, put their kids in college,
Okay.
and live in their dream home.
Okay. So I'm putting my check
I don't know.
brain together. Your simple service writer could be something like this, because your evergreen, which is your word that captures the majority, is building wealth, kids, family, lifestyle. What it's like helping families build wealth so they can have more family times with their kids, or building wealth for families so they can sustain their lifestyle and have more family time. If you say like that, it doesn't matter if they're wholesaler, commercial, or residential, they resonate with that, right? So that's how you have a one simple evergreen message that captures everybody. Otherwise, you're gonna exhaust yourself saying 3 different things. But you say something simple like helping families build wealth to sustain their lifestyle and have more family time. Whether you're a single mom or dad, or you have or you're a single person, you're a family time means different things, and you let them interpret
It
it.
could be family in the restaurant.
Right,
Long
things
time.
like that. So again, that's
What
what
about-
about conversation.
What about like, I help you build wealth so you can secure your future?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Simple, but it encompasses
Build
everything,
wealth,
right?
secure the future.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gabriella?
What I was gonna say is helping families build wealth too concise. Like you would need more, or do you feel like that would capture it?
I think that's a good expansion. So what we do is we think of the simplest thing and how do we make it a bit more, what we say we can beautify it a little bit, add more sparkle, or do we tone it back? So that's just a good start, but that's a good question.
And lifestyle. They can build wealth to secure their future and lifestyle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, how many words are you looking for?
Mhm. So I would say the way I coach is I'd rather have you write a paragraph and we condense it down.
Yes.
Right? I'd rather do that. So this is a like maybe a sentence, right? So this amount of words is good, but then the more concise it gets, then we can condense it down to maybe like 4 or 5 words, right? But the goal isn't to do that because that's like a longer brainstorming session. But I'd rather have you guys do like a 3-sentence, and then you guys can go back and refine. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's move on to this next technique, which is the purpose. Okay. So another hot take is that I've also mentored a lot of business owners through organizations about how to build a business, and in a lot of business plans they talk about mission and vision. I think mission and vision is super important, but one thing that we don't always talk about in training is the purpose. When it comes to advertising and branding, we actually don't care about your mission and vision. We use that as inspiration, but we care about your purpose. We use your purpose the most to communicate all of our messaging, to make it very concise. What's the direction? Because your mission and vision are a little bit longer, right? So they live on your website. And we also don't have time to read your mission and vision. Because sometimes they're a little bit long. But your purpose, though, it's short, it's nice, and sweet. That drives the direction of it, okay? So I'm going to show you guys the way I'm breaking it down to purpose here. But before we do that, I want to show you that the purpose is the why your business exists, okay? It's shorter, it's punchier, it's a belief or a direction. That's why I say when you build a brand, you have to believe in it. Your purpose is that reason, okay? So the way I'm breaking it down is that your mission is what your business does and who it serves. Your vision is what does the future look like for your business, right? And then your purpose is the soul of your brand. Why do you show up? Again, these two, you need to have them to find your purpose. You can't do one without the other, okay? But when it comes to marketing and advertising, we don't got time to do this. It's too long, but we do have time to do the purpose, okay? I'm going to give you an example from a well-known famous brand, and when you hear their purpose, you can see why they do their campaign the way they do it. Okay? Nike, the mission, to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. The vision, to remain the most authentic, connected, and distinctive brand. But then their purpose is to move the world through the power of sport. You see the difference? The soul of your brand, your vision, what do? You serve. They serve athletes, and they want to do innovation. They want to remain the most authentic and connected brand, which is very true. and their purpose to move the world with power sport. That's why when you see Nike's brand or the campaign, it's very like dark. It has dark color scheme. It's very motivational, right? But if you look at Adidas, it's very hyper energetic, streetwear and everything because their purpose is different. So your purpose is supposed to encapsulate your mission and vision. At the end of the day, what is it that you're just trying to do? Okay? And the purpose may sound very high and hard to achieve, but with the right guidance and direction, I promise you to get there. I've helped all of my employees get there in 3 months, and I can probably get there too. So we'll see how that goes. So here's an example, relating back to motor photography. Their purpose is to capture moments that families will never forget. That's it. That's why they started the business. That's why they do what they do. Is they're just capturing moments that families will never forget. Okay? So I want to do another 3-minute workshop with you guys. Write down your purpose, and I want you to write as many as you can. Okay? You can make it a sentence, make it a word or so. And here's an example here. Okay? So I'm going to give you again another 3 minutes. And before we do that, though, I want to share a quick difference between a tagline and a purpose. The purpose is emotional driven, right? Your soul. Nike is move the world through the power of sport, whereas your tagline slogan is a statement. Just do it. That is a statement. Just do it. That's a tagline. That's a slogan. That's not a purpose. The purpose is the soul, which is move the world through the power of sport. Just want to share the difference there. Okay?
Go to the next slide.
Yep. Yeah, because I do know that sometimes people get confused, because they're short and nice. So I'm gonna jump back to this and give you guys 3 minutes, and we'll come back and share. Okay, how's everyone doing? All right, let's bring it back into your group, and I would love to have, say, 4 people share, or 3 or 4 people share. Okay, Josh.
My first one, I said connect businesses and organizations to their clients or customers through daily visuals. Then I went to another one, promote business branding before, during, and after the transaction.
Before, during, after. Okay. Okay. I like daily visuals. When I say I get your apparel, I get my shirts and the items. Similar to what I said earlier, what's that emotion you just wanted to feel? And let's use like adjectives like I want you to feel happy, I want you to feel seen, heard. Let's try to add sprinkle some of those single words in there.
See, I like seeing. Yeah.
Okay. And then focus it maybe just on one customer, for example, just businesses. So I'm thinking something like, I just want to, so I want you to say like, at the end of the day, I just want business to be seen. You know, when we go back and add, at the end of the day, I just want to create visuals so businesses can be seen. Right? Something, I want you to do with something like that. Like, at the end of the day, I just want business to be seen and heard through my daily creations, or I just want to create daily visuals so business can be seen and heard. Because no matter what you do, it revolves around I just want you to be seen at the end of the day. Middle row? Okay, Chad.
So let's go back one.
Yeah.
In my service, I couldn't find missing the feel, or like missing the scene to celebrate it in mind.
Okay.
So mine's portrait photography, and it's like capturing timeless portrait, right? And then my purpose right now is I'm either choosing loving yourself the best way through portraits, or coming back to loving yourself through portraits.
Say going back to love yourself.
Yeah.
Through portraits.
Or coming back.
Coming back. That's a nice one. So was it coming back to love yourself through portraits?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's very powerful. Coming back. Okay, let's explore another one. Can we redefine what portrait means?
Portraits?
Yeah.
It's timeless portraits for me, so it's very classic. It's for me, portraits just means having your best face captured, your best, I don't know, your best looks. Yeah.
Okay. Then you just set the next one. All right. Maybe another new purpose could be capturing your best looks, capturing your best moments. I think portrait is nice, but I just wanted to ask that because we also want to think about, okay, do people interpret portrait differently? Do you want to be the one who defines that, or do you just want to make it like capture your moments beautifully? And then that way, in case you do go beyond just portraits, you go to, I don't know, food photography, whatever it is, then it still relates back to your purpose.
Okay.
When you say portrait, it's only if you really just want to do that. Okay, it does kind of hold you in pigeon, but you keep it raw, like, well, it's not raw, but it's still very emotionally effective too.
Okay.
So that's why I wanted to ask that. Okay. Gabriella, you have one?
Kind of. It's not the best.
It's okay, go for it.
So I'll do the same thing as Pachi. I'll go back.
Okay.
So my sentence was, I had two.
Okay.
Paid leave is a new labor right that helps individuals and families be there for one another during happy and challenging moments.
Okay. What kind of business is this?
It's a new program.
New program? Okay. Go for it.
I don't know.
Oh, it's okay. Go for it. New program. Okay.
Yeah, it's a new program that'll be available across the state, so it applies to almost anybody working.
Okay. And what's the
Yeah.
purpose?
This needs workshopping. It's very similar. I said a new labor right that helps take care of your loved ones when they're experiencing happy and challenging times.
Okay. Do you know anybody who has used paid leave?
Yes.
How do they feel when they use paid leave?
Secure. They feel secure. They have like a safety net.
Okay.
And
And
they
then
feel supported, I'd say.
care, safety net, and support. I like that. So, remember me going back to my insights. We're all humans. We're all simple-minded. Don't get too flashy. Just go straight to the things that we really want. So maybe your purpose is simple as making your pay leave feel secure and safe, or making you feel, or making your pay leave easy for security and support. Like, I mean, those words are very simple, but it's a very short purpose. Because no matter how you describe your service, at the end of the day, we're making your pay leave easy with security and support, right? So those two are key words, because when you look at your people, what words do they always want? That's the emotion they feel. Like, if you know your people, your friends and family, they say they feel supported and secured, then those are the emotions you want to use and leverage. Okay. Anybody else from the back? Okay.
I have one. Documenting the heart and soul of your story to create a legacy that echoes through generations.
Like that. And what is this? What business?
I do wedding and portraits, but I think this one is specifically for like weddings and families.
Wedding.
Storytelling.
Okay.
In generations.
Can you say your purpose one more time?
Documenting the heart and soul of your story to create a legacy that echoes through generations.
Okay. Are there any like emotional words that you can use? Like, you want like happy, proud, loving, crying? That you can think of.
I mean, not right off the top of my head. Sorry, Bert.
Okay, that's okay. So,
I don't think we're generational. Like, I feel
Yeah.
generational.
I think, that and soulful.
Soulful.
So the way that I approach my work is very intentional and honest, and I put a lot of like soul into.
Okay, and then when I hire you for that, what's usually the goal? Is it just a wedding and stuff, or what's usually the goal? Is it to
I think my goal is to deliver photos that tells their story that's unique to them.
okay?
Something that is like timeless,
Okay.
right? That can live on for generations and can be passed down. I want it to be felt, right? Like I want
Okay.
it to look at the photos and feel something.
Got it. Okay. So the words I heard are stories, soulful, timeless, and capture. So maybe the purpose is at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I'm capturing timeless stories that can be felt, right? Or I'm capturing timeless stories that can be kept, right? Or your everyday celebrations captured, or capturing everyday celebrations, documenting every soulful, everyday life or everyday habits. So you try to pull in the words that you say to kind of build something, so that when I read it, you can visually see what is it that I do, right? If I just say like capturing everyday moments, I think any people can visually see that. You do have a lot of good words, but what I like to call it is a lot of sparkle, a lot of magical words, a lot of fluff isn't the right word, but it's a lot of magical words where people might not really gravitate towards that. So I say choose one out of the, I think 5 that you said, or 4 that you said, make that the focal. Does it make sense when I say you have too many sparkling words, sparkles in there? Meaning like a lot of like, yes. It's not bad thing, it's a good thing, right? But the way I like to teach branding and advertising is that the simpler you keep it to, more people are going to gravitate towards that. If you observe our biggest well-known brands, they don't have any big words and big sparkles in there, right? It's very simple, very clear. That's that. Maybe 1 or 2 is good, but not too many, because then people can be like, well, that's a lot.
So I have a question then, because you talked a little bit about tagline and how that's a statement and a purpose is different. So what I've always used for mine is documenting the heart of your story, and I've always kept it really simple like that. So this is like elongated, but based on what your tagline is saying, or what you had shared with the tagline, or what that means, documenting the heart of your story would be a tagline and not so much a purpose.
I think documenting the heart of your story is more of a purpose because it has soul in it, where a tagline can be as simple as 1, 2, 3 snap, or 1, 2, 3 family capture.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, so that's more of a statement where you, because I didn't use that before, that's actually made for purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I get confused. I like elongated it, but like
the way you elongated it earlier, which is good.
Yeah.
The way you have it now, that's where we want to be. Right?
Oh, okay.
So your accent was good. Yeah. But if you want to elongate it, that's also good. So I'm glad you went through this exercise. I give you the same thing for other business. Yes, indeed.
What about mine's like the Bible thing, right?
Yeah.
Creating champions one child at a time.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. I like it. I like it. Okay.
Sounds good.
Or you can say creating champions one play at a time instead of one child at a time. So one ties back to the sport. Okay. Anyone else?
I'll just share my
Yeah, go for it. Okay.
Well, I decided to just focus on leasing and business sale, not anything else.
Okay. Business sales, got it.
It says guiding and connecting business buyer and owner, tenant with landlord to mutually benefit their business goals while building a lifestyle.
Okay, I like that. And that's the purpose of the service? Okay.
What is this?
What about the purpose? The purpose is, for module photography, they're capturing moments that families will never forget. So maybe for you, I'm still thinking that your industry is still considered finance. Because it's all wealth, it's all
wealth, yeah.
Yeah, so then maybe,
get to the bottom line.
right, get to the bottom. So at the end of the day, the core is just still finance, right? Like that's the umbrella. I'm just brainstorming.
Business goal, and also I feel like these are the 3 things, like business goal, but business goal is tied to wealth building. So it's like wealth building and lifestyle. And I think this too, it's like if you're buying a business, then you want to build your wealth. If you're selling your business, you want a lifestyle. You want to get out, you want to enjoy your life, you want to cruise, travel.
Okay.
And then leasing is also too. Leasing is tied to building wealth too.
Yeah.
Space.
Okay. And this can sound very generic, but this will.
Lifestyle, I think that's too.
But this can be very generic, but it'll help you start thinking about all the things that you do. Because you and me as humans, I do a lot of things too. So maybe a simple purpose could be like building a wealthy lifestyle or building a lifestyle, building a traveling lifestyle. So when it comes to your purpose, it doesn't have
dream lifestyle.
It doesn't have to be flashy. And don't worry about all those blue and stuff, right?
But then it's pretty general.
Yeah.
If you say building a dream lifestyle, if you just said that, if I'm like from the outside, I have no idea you're selling business or you leasing.
I'm glad I have a whiteboard here, so I'm gonna actually draw on it. So this is how we do it. Is that dream lifestyle? We know that this is generic, right? But we don't have to worry about that. Dream lifestyle. We circle this, and we know that you do real estate, okay, and you do wealth building, right? Then now we just have to find what words these two relate back to this. Maybe now we say building a real estate, right? We're just putting words in here, real estate, lifestyle, right? Or building a wealthy lifestyle, or building a lifestyle so you can have more family, something like that. So you circle the lifestyle one word, and you list all the things you do, and you're just trying to find the words for will building. Let's say it's security, right? This is happy, because building wealth happy, right? And then maybe build wealth, you have more family moments, okay? And then maybe we choose happy, we choose family, we go back to the lifestyle, and we combine all that. Maybe it's like, at the end of the day, I just want families to have a happy lifestyle, right? And again, that's why your purpose doesn't have to be flashy. Don't worry about all these cool, sparkly stuff, right? If it makes sense to you and it makes you feel good and it relates to everything that you do, then that's all you need, okay? Because you interpret it, you own it. Because when you build a purpose, you have to really own it, right? Because you're going to be the one that's going to be the hot taker on that subject. Okay, that's why my hot take is that people trust brands and not logos, even though I love your logos. Okay, so again, you just write words, circle the things, and maybe it's happy and family. Does that break down okay? Okay, all right. So I'm gonna put it all together. We do have time here. I would love for the people that haven't shared to share theirs if you guys haven't yet, and I want to leave for Q&A too. So if we put it all together, Mojo Ice Cream Bar. Mojo Ice Cream Bar is the name I made up for another workshop. But Mojo Photography captures relaxed, story-driven photo sessions that make families feel comfortable, seen, and celebrated. Right? Because at the end of the day, right, we are capturing moments that families never forget. That is how we put it together. And then when we put it into marketing tools, when you've done your homework, it could be as simple as creating a legacy album, all stemming from the service. Like we just take apart the service, we could create a billion or a dozen ideas for that. It's a full storytelling session that brings everyone together, capturing a warmth, history, and love. That's your caption. Another offer could be Client Story Spotlight, where your messaging is for spotlighting real families, why they booked, what the session meant, and the image they'll treasure forever. Right? Before you even get here, you need to have this. Otherwise, it'll be pretty hard for you to get here because you don't even know what you're talking about. You don't even know what to say. But once you have this, what I'd like to tell my clients is you're not starting from scratch. You're just grabbing words, put it in here, grabbing words, put it in here, and if you make a caption that doesn't relate back to this, that means you go on the wrong direction. Go back and make sure it goes back to this, the purpose, the intent. It doesn't matter which tool you pull as long as it goes back and relates to these words, okay? Because I've done content where I don't know what to talk about. Has anybody done that? Yeah, you don't know what to talk about because we don't know why we're talking about it. But when you have this, you know exactly what you're going to post, okay? So that's why I say build your brand story first. I promise it's going to make this easier to create content. Any questions about branding, marketing? Anybody want to share their whole pitch or thing before I wrap up here too?
Well,
Yeah,
I
Josh,
guess I have questions about
Yeah.
like just branding and logos.
Yeah.
So what's the importance of like color scheme? That's one, and the second one is like what's needed in like a memorable logo.
Yeah. So my main audiences are service-based businesses, and you would consider a product-based business. I think logos is very important for product-based businesses, but of course, it's still my concept still applies. But the difference is that your logo is more memorable for a product, but to get people to buy, you still need all these other items. Okay, so then the difference between a logo and visuals, the logo and visual works a lot more with service-based businesses, because let's just say that I run a speaking business, right? I literally just say my name, Bert Lee Speaks, but if I'm constantly always using blue and yellow everywhere I go, and people will recognize me enough, and I remove my name, they're gonna know, oh, that's Bert. Like Best Buy, I know that's Best Buy because I see them everywhere. But as for product-based businesses, you kind of need both at the same time, because your product is also heavily reliant on your logo itself. Well, unless you do to the point where you can remove the logo and just do the color, but that's also when you have to have a strong brand story so they can recognize the connection of the story too. So that'll be kind of like my answer is like, I think a logo is very much important for you as much as a visual as well. But for service-based businesses, I would say do your logo last because your name is just as powerful. For product-based, your logo is important too because they need that attachment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Question? Okay, before I wrap up here, I heard something? No? Okay, before I wrap up here, I want to share this last thing is that I run a coaching business, so I have a cohort coming up in July. I also have a brand new community. These are just some of the individuals that I've helped build their brand in their visuals, whether that's through my cohort or through my one-on-one coaching. So if you ever curious about branding or marketing and want to work together, there's 2 opportunities that you can work with me. One of them is I have my cohort. We are starting in July 8th. I only accept 6 people. It's a 3-month program. We meet virtually 2 hours bi-weekly, 6 to 8, and I build you your brand exactly what I did up here, right? Live coaching, I'm coaching you, I build you your story. All 6 of them, today we needed 2. And then I have my Beyond Logos community where you can join at any time. And I want to share this, I'm really excited about this community, and it's growing. Is that inside of it, I have courses that I train you. It's all me. I train you how to build a brand. And I hate watching long video. They're only 2-3 minutes, I promise you. But they're very powerful. And then these are the community. These are some of the members who they leave feedback. Like I give live feedback in the community when they comment. For example, Sai is going to give me feedback on my podcast. Pete wants me to hear a review on the Caesar Reel, right? So this community, we do weekly meetings every Thursday. So from 6 to 7 p.m. every Thursday, they join me live together. And I do replays as well, so if you can't meet it on Thursdays, you can watch the replays. The difference between this and the cohort is that cohort is more personal, whereas the community is like a bit broader, and everybody can join, anyone can join. If you want to access that, I have a QR code here. It's in my link tree, it's Beyond Logos, and I do all this training every day for every Thursday, weekly live, for just $35 a month subscription. You will get a 7-day free trial to see if you like it or not. You can leave anytime, but you can also join anytime. So if you want to learn more and we'll check it out, it's again in my link tree. It's Beyond Logos community. Check it out. It's for you. If you want to build your brand at your own pace, or you want to build it in a 3-month spatial time too. But other than that, thank you everybody for having me. I really appreciate it.